You know, this episode is very evident why you should never, never, never argue with the baby mama because at the end of the day, that's the baby mama. And they gonna always be around.
And they always write in they book.
Shout out to Erica for
And they
coming
pop up when you least expect it.
least expected, especially in the damn court office or wherever the hell they were. I don't know where they were, child, but they were somewhere.
So you know I got to lean in.
Hello, everybody. We're back. I know you're not used to seeing us 2 days back to back, but due to yesterday's snafu, we still wanted to make sure we do right by y'all because we know y'all are tuning in and loving hip hop, and we are loving that you're loving it.
Correct.
That's a lot of love. How are you, love?
I am fabulous. How are you doing, Tess?
It's come good. It's Thursday. It's Thursday, Friday Eve, so I'm excited. I'm about to, clean up, light some hookah, chill out this weekend. It's gonna be a good time.
I'm so happy. I have only one meeting on my calendar tomorrow, and I went ahead and blocked off the rest of it so they couldn't put no more on.
I'm on block
See?
calendar. I can't block my damn calendar. It's blocked for me to block somebody.
I just was busy. So, but anywho, we will get right on into the things. This was a pretty fun episode. Had some good nuggets and gems, and we start off by Scrap going to visit his attorney, and he is joined by none other than his ex Erica, which I will say was very pleasing to see her.
Mhm.
They get to talking with the lawyer, and the lawyer asks Erica her thoughts on Bambi as a stepmom, and Erica says, "I never really cared for her." Erica says that what you see is not what you get with her. She portrays an innocent image, but is always at the center of all chaos and drama. The lawyer then turns to Scrap and tells him he's an amazing father and wants him to remember that. The lawyer feels that she can work toward resolving everything, but is dependent on Scrap. And she says the trial is more than likely going to be in June. I'll start with you, Tez. Any thoughts on seeing Erica pop back up?
Now I'm gonna say this. I was very excited to see Erica, and I love that she showed up. I wasn't expecting to see her in this scene, and I will say I just find it kind of funny. Just my thoughts because she had her own issues with Scrappy in the past. I believe there was some other issues in the past regarding the child support that daughter was getting, that child was getting. So it's very interesting that he is, that she's there, for whatever reason, whether it's to be on camera, whether it's to really because she don't like Bambi, but this must be a really deep beef between her and Bambi at this point for you to go to the lawyer and basically go inside with him to make him look better and make her look kind of bad. Because saying what you see is what you get, I mean, is or no, what you say?
She
What
said
you
what you see Bambi present is not really what you get behind closed doors.
this is a legal thing. So she has inserted herself in something that is, very deep. So I hope
Sensitive.
that she is ready to. This is at this point, it's war. like so, and I think she can handle herself, but it's just I find it crazy that she went through her own things. And she's very bold for doing that. She has her right to do it for whatever her reason is, but I'm just gonna say, Scrappy, he is what it is, but he's kind of using him, he's using her, I think, a little bit. But I love her, but I hate this look for her, and I feel like many women in the world may not be looking at her in the greatest light just because of the situation at hand, knowing that Scrappy is not really good, and she knows he's not a good person. So, well,
Love.
I agree, Tess. There was some really good points I didn't think about. It kind of makes me feel like Erica's really not over him in certain ways because it kind of that's something that would come from some type of scorn or some type of like gotcha, there's some type of because if you're in a good place, you're healed. And if you saw what was happening with the parenting or whatever the situation is financially, things that are proof, then you're just trying to take a dig at Bam.
yeah.
That's all this is, really. And I didn't even really look at it like that. So that's kind of all it seemed like. The therapist outside of this,
The lawyer.
or the lawyer.
That's what makes it worse for me. It's the lawyer.
I
This
don't
is
know if she was a lawyer, therapist, mediator. I don't know what she was, but she was so thirsty to be on camera for me and just up his ass. And if she one more second of the scene, I would have been like, "Oh my god!" I mean, what else do you want from him? Like, Capricorns, you are an exceptional father, Scrappy. Now, Scrappy is a
yeah,
lot
what
of
she said,
things.
I said,
I looked around
Scrappy
to
is a
see if she
lot of
was talking
things,
about
but an
somebody else.
exceptional father is not one of them. And after
he
that, that's where she lost me.
he's present in all his kids' life, but how he goes about things, and even in this moment, based off what Bam said in the past, like the last 2 episodes, on how he wants. I don't know, because if you're gonna be the father of my child, I would expect you to take a little bit more ownership in what we have to do for our kids. And they're not like grown kids; they're kids, so they're gonna be kids for a minute. The
Exactly.
ones with bad.
Exactly. He ain't
Yeah.
no Russell Wilson. So I don't know
No.
who was exceptional in that room. I looked around like, what?
Well, and lately we see Russell ain't either. But
That's Bambi's prayer, not Sierra's prayer.
but Cortez, you hit it on the head for me when you said that it was a personal thing against Bambi. Because in her confessional, Erica said, "I'm here to have a front seat for Bambi's karma." So that let me know that
I didn't
yeah,
like that. Like, I get it, and I'm all for getting your lick back. I get that. But in this case, this is a little different. I don't know if I would feel comfortable taking something from someone else's plate. In this case, whatever she's saying to this lawyer, she's going to use that to the disadvantage of Bambi, and it could work against her. It
it
just really.
really could. And I don't understand how you could want to celebrate somebody going through the same pain that the same man put you through.
Hello.
Um, and
Because
then
hurt people hurt people. That's all
I
we're seeing
guess
right now.
so.
And
But
I understand she has the issue with Bambi. I'm gonna say this. I understand that, but
it's
I
about
don't
the
know. I just
kids.
like what takes precedence here. Like, is it like being a woman and standing up for women, or is it just I gotta get this heifer back so bad that I gotta do whatever to send her down? She got little kids. I just don't know how I would. I don't
Well,
know if I have to go that far for a payback. I don't know.
maybe Erica should have been invited to the women's empowerment brunch too to have a seat there and soak up some knowledge. But also to the point about him being a great dad and being present, I think you hit that on the head too, Cortez. He is or love he is present in their lives. But if I'm not mistaken, even on one of these past episodes, he was fighting with Bambi, saying, "I'm not giving you shit," when she was asking for money for the kids. So I mean, how great of a dad are you if you're not being a provider?
Exceptional where?
And that lawyer, I didn't know she was trying to be Dr. Jeff. I didn't know what she was trying to do, but she didn't seem professional at all. It's given that Bambi can go in there like Bob Whitfield and defend herself.
Where
Um,
Bob could I cannot.
But you
Bob.
know,
When I heard Bob, all I think about is that meme of Faith, and she was like in the back of the car. Remember that?
yeah. I think whenever I hear Bob, it's hard for me. I had to pause for a second because I was like, wait, I was going to say, wait, I don't mean Roger Bob. I had to remember that is Bob Whitfield. That is his name too.
Roger Bob. I
But
cannot.
then moving right along, we're now at Frost Bistro. They're doing some, obviously, I guess some paintings so the camera can see that they're doing something because they were just doing a gold circle over and over. But Kurt walks in and he's pretty upset about the permit situation because he found out that Rasheeda did not file for the general permit and they have received a stop work order. Kurt blames Rasheeda for dropping the ball. Rasheeda says it totally went over her head that they are in the historical district and a permit needed to be filed with the Historical Preservation Society. Rasheeda tells him that after he keeps trying to place the blame on her, that he can play his part as well because she's doing everything. Kurt says something has to change, and Rasheeda's just tired of listening to him, and she goes to get Carter, and he says, "Yeah, just walk away." So, Love, what did you think about Kurt's reaction and how he was feeling?
Delivery is everything in life. I don't understand how people sometimes you can be absolutely right in the situation and have zero fight on the other end, but the way you deliver your message will create a fight and your point will be completely lost. And I think automatically with him coming in hot like that, also it's interesting because that's your wife. You guys have been married for years now. I get it. It's just for TV, I understand, but you kind of know the way you guys communicate and talk to each other. So I just, and wasn't there other people in the room or did the workers leave?
I think there were some people still there.
Yeah.
There was still people there, like in the background and stuff, walking and working. So it's kind of like it wasn't even a private conversation. Like, can I talk to you really quick? I want to tell you what happened. What's up with the permit? But it's also, I understand Rasheeda kind of got defensive automatically too. And even after he told her what she did, she still kind of didn't own it. But tone is everything. So I don't know. I didn't like Kirk in the scene.
I'll say my thoughts after Cortez. Go ahead, Cortez.
No, I kind of agree. I think, sometimes, we're upset and we do things. And I think sometimes that can be excused. I don't think he meant to be that way. But, you have to be careful because, Rasheeda she admits later that she was at fault. But I mean, it's just like, you have to be careful. So I didn't see, it didn't make him look any worse than he's looked to me in the past. I mean, I don't think it right. So I don't think it really does anything new for Kirk. It's good to see them, have healthier conversations. I would take this over what they used to talk about and argue about. So I don't really have anything else to add. I kind of agree with everything you said. Like I think the delivery was off, and that's where it kind of landed so bad.
I agree with both of y'all there. It's just confusing to me. Like, if it slipped her mind to get a permit, obviously it slipped your mind too. Because at one point, he didn't know that she didn't have that the permit wasn't applied for until they got a stop order. So at no point throughout this process did you ask your wife, "Hey, did you get the permit?" Like, so obviously it slipped your mind too. And I feel like his bad mood, and we'll cover it more in their scene later on. But I feel like they're overextending themselves financially putting into this because they're depending on opening it when they planned on it so they could start recouping their money back. And so I think that's added a lot of pressure on him. But I guess I look at it like this. Let's say Rasheeda did forget and it's 100% her fault. That's one thing that we know about that lady has dropped the ball on compared to everything else that you dropped your penis in all these seasons. And she cut you slack. You still there with her. So cut her some slack on this. She dropped the ball on one thing, but she's been holding you down for over 20 years. Like
that is so true, Danny. And that does bring up a point because that did irritate me a little bit how she was just like, I just feel bad and I need to empathize. What she said, I need to empathize for him and make him feel like he does more. And I said, did this make a left turn?
That's next thing.
Okay, got you. Yeah,
so then we'll just segue into that. So Yandy and Rasheeda are eating, and they talk about what happened at their previous lunch with Spice and what she's going through. And they're happy that Spice's daughter is okay. So Rasheeda proceeds to tell Yandy about the attitude that Kirk has been walking around with. And Rasheeda says she's over it and that being in a marriage and working together is not for everybody. She says she tries to empathize with him because he's always been her biggest supporter. And then the conversation shifts and Yandy opens up about Mendices and how he's been down lately ever since that interview. But Lil Mendices, poured into him and his mood changed. So she suggests that Carter does the same for Kirk. Yandy talks a little bit about the panel that Mita asked her to speak at. It's an all-women's event for women's empowerment, and she mentions that Amy and Renni Rucci are going to be there. Rasheeda says it's probably a good thing that them two will be there, and hopefully they can learn how to get along. So, Love, start with you.
I'll just finish talking about Kirk and the empathizing of it all. It reminded me of old Rasheeda. I don't like the little. I'm just gonna say it. It's kind of pathetic. I don't like when it's you just. He's a good man, Savannah. Like, girl, stop. After everything you've been through and everything you've done, and we gonna use the word empathize and Kirk in the same sentence. No. The fact y'all still together baffles me. But even just seeing little moments and reactions like that, it went from you drop the ball, apologize, definitely take accountability. His delivery was wrong. I get that. To you turning things around and you want to be like, I need to show him that he's loved and he's wanted here. I said, why? So that part
He won't
irritated
go.
me when it
He
came
won't
to
go
Kirk.
cheat.
Like,
So he won't go cheat.
I cannot with Rasheeda. So it just took me back to the old her, and it just really irritated me when it came to that. But Mendices, I think it's cute. Um, I like the moments that Yandy and Rasheeda have when it comes to the family and the kids and the husbands, everybody getting together and stuff. So I think that's sweet.
Cortez.
You listen. I guess when I watched this scene initially, I was just like, hmm. But as we talk about it, it kind of like it's crazy because I feel like I've been in Rashida's shoes before. It's just like you kind of regardless of obviously his delivery was wrong, and you know damn well that you've rolled for this person and things like that. You still have like this, I don't know, it could be a bit of, and let me fix, because I don't want him to cheat, that could be a bit of it, but it could definitely be just I don't know, it's just something that I think she probably should just work. I'm sure they've gone through a lot of therapy, right? But this is part of something she probably has to you know work through as well. I don't know what's the line in which when it comes to like, when do you, even when your partner is wrong, because I'm not married, when do you stop the line and be like, you know what, no, I'm going to sit here and just let him come to me and let him do this? Because sometimes in some relationships, and I feel like in Rashida's, she feels like she has to do that because she don't know what he gonna do. Yeah, just because she didn't get the permit, he may go sleep with somebody else. I don't know, but I feel for her in that capacity, and I hate that for her. But I do. It would be nice to see her and to kind of stand up to him more, because she does. She just does it, when it's like at its most worst disrespectful level. But that's something she has to work on. I mean, they've been married forever, and when she talked to Yandy, that's very true. I think people say, and obviously we've seen it many times on Housewives of Atlanta. We've seen it on this show, like when people that are married get a business, that's like a whole new level. It's just like when people that are not married move in with their partner. That's like another level, right? And it's a test. So it's a test for married couples to get a business. And so I think they'll work through it, obviously, but I'm sure it's tough for her.
You're right about that. Being married and starting a business, like Kim and Croy, when they started selling their
Yeah,
shorts in the bathroom floor.
yeah.
That business didn't go nowhere. I guess that's what
Always
caused
a
them
man.
to break up. I don't know, but when it Rashida, I'm with you, love. Like, it baffles me that after so many years, like, she still takes some of this stuff. But then I think about, like, how at the beginning of the season we were like, I'm not gonna say we were charmed by Kurt even as watchers, but we were like, okay. So it kind of gives me the vibe that when Kurt does good, it's really, really good. Like
Yeah.
Mm,
she,
the
like she,
bars in hell.
like she loves that, and I think she also sees in this, he's been trying, he's been doing the right thing, blah, and now this setback happened, and it's my fault. So I think in this, like the mind games and the stuff that's been going on with her whole life, it just it took its hold on her. I do
Stockholm syndrome. It's
yeah.
giving a little Stockholm-ish.
Yesterday, Cortez, you said that you like when you see Yandy and Rasheeda talk together like the OGs.
Mhm.
Um, and that stuck in my mind when you said it. And when I watched it, I was like, yeah, it really is. They interact a lot different. Like, it's a
Yeah.
different energy about them interacting than, like, they make the other ones look like little girls.
Yeah, they're not as invested, and they kind of, they're there, but they're not there. They're just like relaying the message. They in and out. They listen to them and like, oh, maybe they go to the side and film their scene. It's like, well, those girls over there. It does seem like little girls and the women.
Mhm.
Well,
Very much.
they have all been those little girls too. So it's like you keep them on the show. You keep the legacy, the foundation, and you give a bit of both viewers. The ones that want to see the girls tussle, Renni, and all them over there. Then you have the foundation of the show that kind of got it going, just to see where they are. They can be phased out eventually, but I mean, really, they could be gone. But it's good
You
to have them around.
you right
That's what
about it.
Atlanta should do. Atlanta should
Yeah,
do the same thing.
Yeah.
you're right about it. The way some of these girls arguing today, is very reminiscent of the way K. Michelle took Rasheeda through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. All right. So on to the next scene. We have Scrap, Imani, and Erica are at the Sandbox, this virtual reality thing. And if y'all haven't been, next time you go to Atlanta, go. It's really, really fun.
I want to. It looks
I
so
love
much
this so
fun.
much. And after they have a good time playing the game, and I will say it was enjoyable seeing Scrap be like a big old kid. You always see him so angry, arguing or being a player, trying to have this tough guy image. It was enjoyable to see him just play and having fun. Like it looked like his guard was down. And so they begin to talk about Imani going to college and ask her how she feels. She says she's excited about it and all the new things that are coming to her. Scrap in his confessional says how grateful he is to have a daughter like her. And so Erica proceeds to ask Scrap about the divorce and how he feels. He talks a little bit about it, and then Imani reminds him of how strong of a person he is, and she can tell he's happy now because he isn't around a Debbie Downer anymore, aka Bambi. He didn't know what a Debbie Downer was. Imani says she can't even get online without people asking her how she feels about Bambi disrespecting her mom, and she says she can't get with anyone disrespecting her parents because it's the same thing as disrespecting her. And I found it odd that Scrap says he doesn't want the kids he has with Bambi to go through what Imani went through with his situation with Erica. He wants to co-parent in peace. So I'll save my thoughts for after y'all, but Cortez, you can go first.
I just always get worried when I see kids get involved with it. How old is Imani now? How old is she?
18.
18.
She's grown, but I just would have
legally.
I would have just rather her just kind of been like, keep it less personal on Bambi, because it sounds like, she's obviously grown, but there may be a little impression from her mom and then her dad. They don't know what Bambi's been going through. He did choose Bambi just like he once chose Erica. So to be honest, the real issue here is Scrap. They'll probably never admit that because that's her father and that's her baby's father. um so I just hope that this, though, I've seen the blogs kind of post about it, and that making emphasis that she said this, Debbie Downer, specifically Debbie Downer. And I don't know, I haven't seen anything, but I hope that Bambi does not respond to her, because we've seen kids get involved, kids put roaches in people's houses and stuff like that. And I'm not just saying, we've seen these things before. Don't forget about what's her name trying to fight Jocelyn back in the day,
Gia going at it with her uncle.
Right. So I prefer the kids to kind of be quiet. She's just turned 18, so she's still, to me, still a kid, even though she's legal. But now, if Bambi ever wanted, she could legally whoop her ass.
Well, I didn't recognize her.
I didn't recognize
her.
She was so young. She was a little
understanding.
But it was good to see her. I just, want kids to kind of just, especially in her case, because she's really not a part of that beef. I don't think Bambi's ever said anything about Imani. So Erica should really teach her daughter to not get involved at all.
I think it's a fine line, though, because while Bambi may not have said anything about her directly, if you're dogging out my mom, like the person that's raised me and I live with every day, it's gonna be hard for me to stay quiet too. Even though, like you say, leave that between the people that are directly involved. But it would probably be hard for me to stay quiet too. I ain't gonna lie.
You can, but if she were to retaliate, it's like fair game. Just
I would have just been quiet for the sake of, this lady is a mother of my other siblings.
Yeah, that too. Because they all are, like, believe it or not, one family. They all came.
They really are.
Same ball sack.
Shared one.
Love, what were your thoughts?
I can relate with Imani as far as growing up not liking a partner, and when you get of age, you want to like talk all your shit and like get involved. So that aspect I can relate to, but I guess it changes the dynamics a little bit when your siblings are with the woman that you're trying to get involved in beef with. So it's a little different. Like Ted says, everybody's being invited to the barbecue. Everyone's there for Thanksgiving. So it's a whole nother world when ain't nobody going nowhere, So it's it's a little hard. It's a difficult situation. She kind of had a lot to say. Erica needs to sit down. I feel like I don't know. It's like the more I see the situation and the more like she's completely acting like nothing ever. It's like she's getting a kick out of this. She's loving this. She's
Yeah,
loving this.
she's loving it.
And yeah, and I don't know. It's icky. It doesn't feel right. I don't like it.
I
You
don't see
know,
anything wrong with her loving the fact that they're getting a divorce because there's nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah,
when you go the extra mile to do other things to make sure that post divorce things go in a different way, I think that's what the line is crossed.
it's
There's
too
nothing wrong.
much. Yeah.
They had
yeah.
beef. There was a beef back in the day. I don't see anything wrong with her being like in her mind, like, well, I'm glad they getting it because I told her like blah 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 blah. I feel like she did
That's
kind of.
natural.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Bambi even was so Erica. He ain't never gonna do me like he did you.
Yeah.
Oh my
When
god.
So
stuff like that happens, when people tell you stuff like that, you kind of be sitting like, just wait, you gonna be shown, you will be shown.
Hmm.
you're being shown.
And you're being shown, and that's I think it should be left there.
I agree, and I wouldn't put it past Scrap because all this is being filmed and he knows he has to go to court soon. I wouldn't put it past Scrap to even have told Imani to be free and say what she wants, like encouraging her to say these things. I wouldn't put it past him to say that. Because none of them know. They all know that he was not a perfect father to her. Like he was present, but he wasn't present. It was no presence given. But yeah, so we'll see how this goes because I think later on in a couple of episodes we see the preview of her and Bambi and Erica going at it somewhat. So
it gets really ugly. It gets really heated. So
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to having front row seat of that.
yeah, I do want to see because
It was
I
shaking the table.
the fact that she was with that lawyer. I feel like that's going to be the premise of the conversation, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Like, why though?
And then just go back to real quickly. She said that they made up, which they did on the family reunion, but she said that she said
A week later.
Shortly after that, she found out that Bambi didn't want her talking to Scrappy, right?
And that is the
Like,
oddest thing. That makes no
this is it?
sense.
That's why I was like, is this the issue? Like, I don't know. I don't know,
It wasn't clear. I'm with you, Tez. It wasn't clear like that.
when she
I
made
don't
it
think
like
that's the issue. I think it's deeper than that, and she's downplaying it, trying to make it seem like. Because at the end of the day, I truly believe that Erica, even after they made up, still dogged Bambi out like a dog to Scrap, and in a heated argument, Scrap had one Bambi. He probably said that's why Erica was right, or something like that, and that's probably why they fell out. So you just never know, but we giving Erica her Bob too much time.
coming together.
Too much time.
They should be coming together, even though it's already a whole, women around that show with picket signs. Get out of here, Scrap. He don't need no more people in him anyway, but they should be coming together.
It should be if you
really
two have been, yeah. So enough for Erica and her Bob. So we move on now. We see Carter is doing homework and Rasheeda is struggling to put together a paper towel holder. Like Rasheeda girl. Now I kind of see why you forgot to file a permit.
Yeah,
And then Kurt walks in with his, angry, mopey, Debbie Downer type disposition. And Rasheeda tells him about his attitude being negative all the time, just draining the energy out of her room. And Kurt says there's nothing to be happy about right now. They can't do anything with the restaurant, and they have bills, and the restaurant right now is eating money. Rasheeda tells him life happens. You just got to pivot. And then Carter jumps up and says and asks Kurt to hear an essay that he wrote. The essay turns out to be about how great of a dad he is to Carter, and Kurt can't do anything but smile, and his mood changes. In his confession, he said he felt loved and appreciated, and Rasheeda also tells Kurt that she wants him to know that he's appreciated. And Kurt says he felt better hearing that because it's something he's been wanting to hear. He says he feels loved again, and he was just having a moment. He also takes the time to apologize. And then after all this, Rasheeda decides to tell him that they have a permit and they're back moving and can get to slanging and banging in the restaurant. She probably could have led with that.
Yeah, we could have saved this, 3 minutes.
Drama. So I'll start with you, Love. What did you think?
Okay, I had 3 different emotions in this scene. First of all, I think it's hilarious. The son did not write that essay. That was Rasheeda. And number two, I feel like Kirk, even his reaction was weird. It didn't seem like I wouldn't want my dad to react like that after I just read a poem about you. Like, don't give me that. Oh, you do love me. Like, when did I ever say I didn't? That was a weird thing to say after I just read the nicest essay about you ever, pops. I don't know. His energy was still cold. It wasn't that loving. It kind of seemed like I know that's his biological kid, but it was a little staged. Like was he like like Danny said earlier, is this someone to stand in? I don't know. It just didn't seem like emotional enough for the moment. That was really cute. I wanted to shed a tear, but with Kirk's reaction, I was just like, well, I'm not emotional anymore about it. I don't
It
know.
gave
It
that
might
he wanted
just
to stay mad. It gave that he wanted to stay mad, and that poem, that essay, took him out of it. Like he's like,
yeah,
damn you! I'm trying to do something here with your mom, trying to be mad at her, and here you go.
something. He was like, yeah, all right, here, give me that. All right, that's it. I was just like, this is weird. And I also just I don't know, the scene in general, I feel like Kirk and Rasheed at this point, they're just coworkers. The high five at the end, like no hug, no kiss. I don't think I've ever seen them kiss in this season so far. We're 8 episodes in. Have you seen any affection between the married couple?
I don't think I ever have. But
I've never seen them. I don't recall seeing them at all. Like but I don't know. I could, that's just for cameras.
Kiss, hug, something, holding hands. Like in that scene, that's the perfect moment for everybody. The group hug, family, you know, kiss your son on the head. He hold her by the waist, something. But instead, we got a high five, slanging and banging. I was like, yeah, they're just coworkers. Those are my emotions. It was everywhere in that scene.
Cortez.
No comment, to be honest. I'm glad. I think they could have led with we got the permit too. I hate that he's made the fact that he made the comment. That's what I needed. That's what I wanted to hear. I was like, this is a scheme. This was a scheme. So I think this was played up because she basically said exactly what he needed, and he confirmed that's what he needed. That is not reality. That's not reality. No.
In about 10 years, that's how I see Candy and Todd interacting with each other. But that's a whole different story.
Ooh,
Um,
Dixon.
Well, they already kind of doing it now. But so we go into the next scene, and Cortez's man, Chaotic, is at the park with Amy. And Amy, kind of tells him, like, what's up? There's a lot of women coming and going when it comes to you. Like, Amy says she shouldn't have to feel awkward seeing him hug Erica. Chaotic plays it off and says he wasn't flirting with her. He was just showing her how strong he is. And Amy opens up and says, she isn't used to seeing him flirting with other girls in front of her. Amy says she isn't trying to control him, but too many people are getting the princess treatment from him, and there will never be no second, third, or fourth base until they get understanding. Because Amy says if he slides into her home base, then he belongs to her. And Chaotic says he don't want to slide into home base. He want the grand slam with both of them. And she's reminded. She says she's reminded as to why she hasn't given it up easily to him. And Amy says, talks about the women's empowerment event, and she mentions Renni will be there. And Amy basically just says she hopes Renni doesn't try her at the event because it is about women's empowerment, and she doesn't want it to, I guess, the attention to be taken away from that. So Cortez, how do you feel about your man playing off flirting with Erica?
I'm gonna start with Amy. I think Amy is crazy for that whole moment because that is not his fault that you feel a way about feeling uncomfortable watching him flirt with other men because that's not your man. That is your homie friend, artist guy. Y'all flirt, but that's not your man. So unfortunately, until there is some kind of understanding, which is what you're trying to get now that you see another woman moving in closer, then you can feel a way, about it. To be honest, and in my opinion, I feel like Erica has more of a right just because she at least has always had the intention of trying to get closer with him in that way. Amy has made it very clear and made it downplayed their relationship from the beginning that it was really just this is my homie. He's like a brother to me. So that's what she's portrayed to us, right? So I just feel like she looks crazy. She looks goofy by trying to now claim territory, and you can see that she's sweating under pressure. Like Erica is applying pressure without even trying to apply pressure, and I hate that for Amy because she could have easily been the one if she would just be more upfront with her intentions and what she wants, not because someone else she's threatened that someone else is taking it away. And as far as Chaotic is, he's who he is. He's very clear. He's said it many times that he is trying to get them both. He has not expressed any type of confusion of being with one or the other. I
He
really
really has it.
he has been very consistent. Okay, maybe not to their face, but in his confessionals, he has. And so when you get to this reunion, I hope they both bind together and leave him alone so I can have him to myself. I'm just talking. This is delusional, right?
Go ahead, love. Go ahead, love. Because you should have to feel. You should have to feel awkward seeing him hug Erica Banks, right?
I don't feel awkward. I know he comes out. I know he comes home too. So it's good.
Okay. Yeah, it's chaotic. Come get your man, my man. I just wrote down one thing. I wrote Amy and I put pathetic. That's the way I'm just summing this up. At this point, like the way that I'm just kind of cringing at her in the scene with the way she's doing things with him, I'm like, girl, bye. It's like, because it's like you said, there's no confusion at all with chaotic. He's very upfront when both of them are around. Hey, I want to flirt with you right now. Oh, this is my song. You want to dance? I'm gonna flirt with you. He's very transparent. And I'll be honest with you. One of the things that is one of the most respectable qualities of a person is when they're just who they are up front. When you get all of them in the beginning and you see what it is. He is not misleading anybody in this situation. Now he has his little games and his tricks and his, like Tez says, at the end of confessionals is where we get the real tea. But even up front, he still explains himself and is being honest, like, oh, I'm just trying to get to know her. What's wrong with that? He still calls her friend. Hey, friend. So I feel like I don't know. Amy's just pathetic. That's where I'm at.
No, I get what you're saying, but even in this scene, he wasn't honest with her. He definitely was doing more than showing Erica how strong he was by lifting her. That was definitely flirting. And he flat out lied about that. So I mean, I'm gonna just sum it up the way you called Amy pathetic. I'm gonna say chaotic lives up to his name. He is very chaotic.
Yeah, he is playing them. And they kind of get played, they both, but the thing is they're both smart women, and if you think about it realistically, because they both see, that's why they both coming at him in the way of what's going on, because they fear for the other that he may be, what I'm saying, they ain't stupid. What they really should be doing is saying, you know what, I'm gonna leave you over here, and they both leave him alone. Like, to be honest, they really should. That way that he just be looking crazy because they getting played.
I agree.
They getting played. And
I don't know what to say. It's just,
they're not as dumb as they're presenting. They're smart. Like they know, they see it. We always see stuff typically before it happens. So just do what you need to do, and it'll go away in terms of this issue.
No, Amy wants competition. She wants it. It's on now. It's full steam ahead for her.
She losing. She the one leaving the scenes.
And so now we get to our final and big scene. The ladies arrive at the apartment and they're seen taking pictures, doing interviews. Ian and Amy hug and greet each other. Erica arrives and Amy takes her to get a drink so they can talk. Erica, points out that Amy was real aggressive when she arrived at Chaotic's video shoot. And Amy says she was just caught off guard because everything was set up differently than what he told her it would be. Erica in her confessional says Chaotic makes it obvious who he wants to be with, and Amy should just get the hint. Then we see Yandy and Amy talking about the Renni situation. And Amy pretty much sums it up as saying she feels disrespected by Renni and the way she responded by blocking her. Yandy says, she wants them to talk. So the panel begins, and it consists of Mita, Erica, Amy, Deb, Anthony, Yandy, the vice president of something at Def Jam, and some other women. Mita starts talking, and she says, stop the competition and lift each other up. Erica, says some nice uplifting things and gives some advice and saying that, she fell victim to online stuff and she allowed the internet to make her have beef with someone that she never even met. Amy gets up and talks about rat beef, and she really just wants to make money. That should be everybody's focus. The panel ends, and we see Renni come up and speak to Yandy and Mita. Not sure. Hold on 1 second. Not. I'm gonna say not. I put a little note in here. I'm not sure if Renni knew what the dress code was, because the way everybody else was dressed and what she had on. But you know, Remy says she's pretty much over. She says Amy spoke to everyone about the situation but her. So Yandy goes and gets Amy so that Renni and her can talk. Amy walks up and proceeds to tell Renni what happened in her eyes. Renni says she never blocked her for hitting her up. She blocked her because once the blog story started coming out, she felt that Amy just wanted attention. Amy says she's no longer mad and it is 3 years old, but she doesn't like how she was handled. They proceed to argue. It goes left. Mita takes Renni away and Yandy takes Amy away because it looks like they were about to try to fight. So Yandy says that Amy is acting differently than the words she just spoke. Deb tells her in her nice little deep voice that she has said some amazing things, and she's letting someone come in and ruin everything that she just said by contradicting it. And Yandy points out that Amy doesn't realize the energy that she gives off. So Amy comes down a bit and comes over to talk to Renni, and they proceed to talk a little bit more. And Amy says that her response wasn't right, and she proceeds to talk to Renni in a calmer manner. To me, it seemed like the energy was still just as aggressive on both their ends. They both were still like, "What's up?" But Renni says she never said that she didn't understand why Amy felt how she felt. She just wanted Amy to look at things from a different perspective. Like, how did you not know that I handled it on my end with the people that put me in that situation? And Amy just says that she wishes it could have been handled differently, and it appears to be squashed for now. So I will start off with you, Cortez. What did you think?
So this scene, I didn't even. So okay, Rennie, I think she was very level-headed in the situation. I think she was just kind of explaining what happened and just basically saying, "Listen, I already told you that this is it wasn't you act like you don't understand how this game works because she said that they both worked with the same individual, they didn't say the name, and so these things happens all the damn time. When we have these artists like underground artists that get their stuff stolen, stuff like that from other artists, it's not necessarily the artist's fault because they get the track, they hear it, they go on it, right? It comes someone is usually scouting that. It's very rare that artists go and just be like, I want to steal this. I don't think anybody would do that. So I think she tried to explain that Amy was even not she wasn't really that receptive in my opinion. And I think she kind of escalated a little bit more. Now I will say Yandy and them, they started that mess, specifically Yandy. Okay. Because her intention was probably pure, but you had to know that something was going to pop off. Just because those ladies needed to probably talk by themselves. I think it may would have went a little better. I don't know.
She was producing.
Yeah, but
Giselle.
I don't like how Deb, you saw some message. I didn't like how they was just like, because she did speak on it, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, listen, this is a real situation. They're talking about it, and it's not this beef never got squashed. Now, had the beef got squashed before the speech, then sure, but the beef was still here while she's doing the damn speech. So it's just like, okay, Deb, like, yeah, this is probably her true feelings. She probably can still stand in how she feels, but at the same time, she is, she's human. But I didn't like the way they all came at her like it was just her fault because I mean it did get to some insults from her, but I mean it wasn't just her. Renni said some slick stuff too at some point. They could have both been scolded in that way. And they all kind of came at Amy as if she had to be the bigger person when her feelings are valid as well. Although I do think Renni, what she's saying is valid and Amy wasn't listening, Amy is still human because Amy was not really listening to what she really was saying. And that happens all the time. Like she's saying, it wasn't me. You were mad at me. The person that we both work with, you should be mad at them.
And that was a valid point.
And that's a valid point. Like, that goes for anything. Don't be mad at me. I'm just the artist. And so when she came insulting her about her not writing her own words and lyrics and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, now this is woman beef. This is what they talked about, Amy. But yeah.
Love.
Rennie is a better woman than me. I would have threw that rose in Amy's face the moment she started to do that Dr. Seuss breakdown about hoes. And if you got 10 of them plus
Mhm.
five, that means you a hoe. And then if you add the three and you steal this, then you're a thief. I would have been mushed her in the face. It would have been, I would have remember what platform I was on. Wait, I'm on Living Hip Hop, right? Okay, cool. I'm mushing her. The moment that energy got to that insulting kind of
Yeah.
realm, it was over after that. She called her a slide and you ain't this and you ain't that, or her a couple B's and H's. I would have been mushed Amy in the face. So Rennie's a better one to me. The proximity was too close. You're too close. You're too close to be talking that loud with that type of tone. This episode should have been called Tone Police because delivery is everything. Amy, I felt like some people just really don't know how to communicate how they feel well. And I get that. And sometimes it's relayed across the screen in obvious ways. And with Amy, it seems like even in little situations, like Erica Banks even called her out. She was like, "You kind of came into the video set aggressive." She's like, "No, I didn't. Why was I aggressive?" It was like, Amy, you did, bro. What are you talking about? Like, you
Yeah,
came
she's
in saying like, "I don't want to be here no more. I'm not the only video girl." Bye. It was like, girl, what do you mean you didn't come in aggressive? So that's like she doesn't know how to control
yeah.
her reactions to things. It's very on her sleeve. Sorry, Tez, what were you saying?
No, no, no. I was agreeing. I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, so I think that yeah, I would have Amy would have gotten mushed. She's a better one than me. Deborah is hilarious. That caught me off guard. I started to holler a little bit though, because Amy turned around. I thought it was like she was talking to her mama. Like kind of like, well, I said what I said. I was like, whose deep voice? Like it was that's why I cannot. That scene was cracking me up. It really was. Yandy was trying to produce a scene. She already knew what it was. I was
You
rolling my
know,
eyes the whole time. Talking about,
yeah,
no, you guys, it's not supposed to be like this.
but I'm gonna give Yandy credit. She definitely was trying to produce a scene and cause mess. But what I will say is Yandy has the gift of gab. She can say some beautiful sounding stuff. When she said that whole thing to her, there's two paths. There's
Oh
one
my.
out the door and there's one to her. I said, okay, Yandy Luther King.
When she said that, Danny, I said, "That is amazing." I
I did too. I was like,
was
okay, Yandy
like,
can talk. Yandy has a
And
way
I would
about
have
her.
walked straight to my Uber and threw up the deuces.
She said,
I'm out.
every
that,
time
that
you
looked.
Bye.
every time you leave somewhere,
My legacy ends here. Right.
you leave a legacy. I said, oh,
I
okay.
loved it. I was like, now, you know what? If this was a damn oratorical or a damn speech, I would have been like, I would have left that room feeling so empowered.
I want Yandy to get a show like Iyanla's.
Okay,
Okay. You know what?
that was better than the young. I was like, oh, I felt that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, I did too. And I even took it on a separate side note. I said, Yandy got away with words. She got the gift of gab. She really does. Because even when
She ain't
she was
always had
talking,
that though. She ain't always had that. That comes with life experiences and she's up there. That's what I'm saying. Like she has the aura of, this obviously she's messing up a mess. But to me, Yandy has really
Yeah.
evolved on this platform from
you
where
know
she
why I think she's evolved more on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta than New York too.
yeah.
She don't have no enemies here.
Yeah.
Like
Chrissy ain't
she
over
don't
there.
have no drama. She
Oh,
don't have Chrissy. She don't have the Mendici's
child.
exes. The children of
Mm-hmm.
the ex's
The
mom
baby mamas. Mhm.
and the grandmothers. Like them grandmothers didn't play with Yandy.
Yeah.
Um, so she's in a whole different element where she don't really have beef with anybody. And I think she's trying to make sure it stays that way. I think she's trying to revamp her image because every scene you see her, she's looking well. She's dressed proper. She's not dressing. I don't want to say risque or anything because there's nothing wrong with that, but she's dressing in a more grown woman manner. So it's like she's trying to elevate her image, like trying to show people I have changed and evolved. I'm not the same Yandy that was on, like we said 10 years ago. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I love
um, any final thoughts on this episode?
no, I want Amy to I like Amy, but as the show goes on, I dislike her because she has a lot of growing to do. She really to me could be like a fan favorite if she's not already to some people. I don't think she should be, but she could be a fan favorite. But she has some polishing to do. I would like to see her come back next year and kind of be more not like in the drama, but not make herself look so childish in some
not
ways.
be the butt of the drama, because I think when
No,
somebody like when Kirk said, like when Erica said about Bambi, what you see is not always what you get. I feel like that's the case for Amy. What we see her present is not always what we get either. I feel like there's more to her. I don't know if we're seeing the genuine Amy just yet. I feel like right now she's still performing and being on the show as someone who was also a fan of the show.
I don't want her to be arguing over a dude, and I don't want to be arguing over a song.
Especially not this dude.
A song that was allegedly stolen. I want it to be something else. And this, I would have rather seen her have more, see more of her family dynamic, because that was interesting to see. For me personally, of all
Thank you, Tez. I'm with you on that one, 100%. Miss the sisters, the moms, the dynamics. I want to see like more of the interact. Like, are you guys all cool now? Did one sister fall out? Is she back as your manager? Can we see you guys back at the kitty place together as her manager? Do you have inventory issues? There's so much potential there. That's a good point.
I want to see that. But now, now that Renni, she's kind of, I guess, quote unquote, squashed it with Renni. The only thing that lingers is her and Erica with Chaotic, and hopefully that squashes soon too, so we can get to maybe seeing her get some music out and just kind of really live the artist that she wants to be, because she has the potential. I see it for her, but I don't see it for her in these scenes that she be doing and putting out.
I don't care what else she give us. I'm only looking forward to one more thing this whole season. Two things this whole season coming up. And that's Erica Mena flipping the table on Spice. I'm anxious to see that because she could have messed up her hernia. And then I want to see Carly Red and Shekinah go at it, and Carly says she's sleeping with a married man. I want to see that too.
Oh, don't forget about
next episode, isn't it?
Bambi and Erica.
That's
gonna be good. I'm telling you, that's
gonna be good.
I tried to rewind it a little bit. What did she say? Like, did
Imani's never been invited over there?
But what did Bambi imply that got her up? Did she imply like I'll step to you or her? What did Erica get up and say that was so angry? Like, don't talk about my daughter. I was like, did she threaten to fight the daughter? It was so fast.
I didn't even catch that. But
don't forget about Renni Rucci and Erica Banks with that milk, whatever that was.
There's a lot of moments. Her baby hairs. Oh, it's gonna be a wrap if that milk.
She got washed with that milk or whatever it was. Was that milk?
It was horchata.
Yeah, horchata. Yeah. So
it had to have
been some good moments. I will say that 10, 11 seasons, whatever season we on, 11 Hip Hop going to MTV seems like it's been the right move because it's been more entertaining than it has been in a while.
The budget is different.
The budget went up. Yeah,
because when you got the coin, it's a little different.
I mean, VH1 MTV, they still they right here, but MTV.
Yeah,
I think they want more. MTV don't have as many viewers because VH1 has a lot over there. But isn't Drag Race over there too now? MTV.
Well,
is
it? It was so regular Drag Race was on MTV, but then All Stars went back to Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
So we're going. Drag Race is homeless. It goes from pillow to post. So I don't know where it's going to end up next season. It might end up on PBS next season. So but with that being said, make sure you like and subscribe. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yep.
We won't be back Wednesday with a review. The Wednesday after that, we'll be back with the next 2 episodes.
Yep.
So be sure to like and subscribe. Tune in on Monday for Atlanta, Tuesday for New York, and I know we'll be putting up El Collective. So
El Collective is not going to be on Monday. So it films and it's going to be now posted on Monday mornings. So you'll have something to watch in the morning, and then you can come to the night to watch Atlanta for the Housewives of Atlanta. So yeah, check this out.
The writers may be on strike, but the lean ain't. So we're gonna give you content to watch. So,
correct.
All right, well, thank you, Cortez. Thank you, Love, and I shall see y'all next time. Till then, lean out.
Have a good weekend.